Now, one thing that you definitely know about me if you have been keeping up with my channel is that I will use any excuse to complain about the ending of Game of Thrones as if it happened yesterday. And so, this shot, I would just like to say, is the only good thing to come out of that entire last season of Game of Thrones. The only thing, House of the Dragon, let me tell you something, y'all better not try me with a botched ending like this. Please. Okay, so over the weekend, people were like, oh my gosh, guys, it's been 5 years since Game of Thrones ended. Like, it's officially been 5 years. So I was like, wow, in honor of that, I get to rant yet again about the ending. I decided that since it's been 5 years, let's talk about 5 things I hated about the last season of Game of Thrones. Let's just start it off with number one, Jon Snow in general. What was going on with that, mama? What was going on with that, Miss Mamas? Jon Snow's parentage, the resurrection, all that did not have any impact on the end game whatsoever. Didn't really mean anything. The fact that he turned into this caricature whose only words were, my queen, yes, my queen, I serve my queen. Girl, he failed upward this entire season, and I was supposed to be gagged about it. Did all that sword fighting and shit at Hardhome just for Arya to come out of nowhere and defeat the Night King instead of having a real, scuffle. Don't play with me. And then on top of all that, the fact that Jon got to walk past whatever was left of the Unsullied and Dothraki after he just killed Dany as if nothing happened. And I said it before, I say it again. Y'all can say what y'all want to say. All he got was a scowl from Grey Worm or something. Then he's just permitted to go join the Night Watch as if he didn't just commit regicide. Like, girl, what are you talking about? You're not leaving here. You're not leaving the Red Keep. Like, what do you mean? And then they really wanted to make a Jon Snow spinoff. And I'm just like, girl, after that? For what? Like, what would we be watching? Why would we watch? Like, y'all couldn't find a story for it, and that's why the spinoff canceled. Just a mess. So that whole entire Jon Snow situation, that's the first one. The second one, Arya not fully completing her revenge list, and we could do a whole thing about Arya, but Arya not completing her revenge list really pissed me off. I said this before already though, but I was just like, why would she be talked down from going for Cersei when this is what she came to King's Landing for? Like, I'll never forget her being talked down by the Hound. Like, so the Hound, you can have your moment fighting your brother in the end in the Red Keep while it disintegrates under Drogon's breath, but Arya can't have you talking Arya down. Like, Arya been reciting them names on her list like it was a phone number or some shit she was trying to memorize. And it's like, I'm just not convinced that she would just abandon her list, especially when she done brought herself all the way to King's Landing. And on top of that, it would have been so much cooler if she was, had the face on, had Jaime's face on, and went in there. Like, it's just like, oh my God. I'm getting mad again. Okay, the third one, Bran becoming king out of nowhere with absolutely no justification. I don't care what y'all talking about. And remember, Tyrion, the literal prisoner, was the one to suggest Bran be king. And then they implied that Bran, like the show implied, that Bran just let all this heinous shit happen because he saw that he was going to become king. And why do you think I came all this way? Like, I bet they wrote that in the script and really thought they ate that line up. Like, you really implied that he just played things, just like played in everybody's face, let things happen so he could sit on this fucking throne, and we supposed to look at him like the good guy? When I say absolutely not, I mean that. Okay? Now, the third thing, can we talk about Jaime's redemption arc that really wasn't an arc at the end because it was just completely unraveled when he went back to Cersei and that short-ass wig? I've said this so many times. I will never forgive him for leaving Brienne right there in her nightgown, in her pajamas in Winterfell, girl. Like, it ain't war and shit outside. Like she's out here in almost damn near in her panties, woke up out of bed over here sobbing. And then after all that, had the nerve to go back down there writing his deeds in that damn book at the end. Girl, if you don't stand up. Oh, I feel like they could not write women to say they lied. Stand up. Stand up. Now, that was, what we was on the fourth one? Yeah. That was the fourth one. Now, you already know what the fifth one's going to be. And I saved it for last so we can really get into it. Last but not least is my fave. Still my fave. Still my fave. Let's not let's not get it twisted. I still stand by Daenerys. But last but not least is Daenerys' sudden descent into madness. That was craziness. Y'all already know how I feel about it. If you wanted to do it right, rushed, poorly executed. And the people, I'm always going to address the people who talk about, oh, y'all are just mad that your favorite character went mad. There's foreshadowing. That's what they say. There's foreshadowing. Y'all annoy me with that. Dany murdering, slave masters or forcing her wartime enemies to bend the knee or burn, like all of your favorite male counterparts do. Every single one of them. The ones that y'all love to talk about and go up for Aegon stand, all them, like, all of them do that. That's not foreshadowing that she's gonna go mad. Sorry. Like, girl, she is literally operating just like how the male conquerors, the male armed fighters do, girl. And people I promise you, if Dany was a guy, they would be up here. The fan bros, you know what I'm talking about. They would be up here getting their lives. Talk about his foreshadowing. No, it's poorly done writing. That's what it was. The woman who was over here locking her dragons up to the point where they were stunted. Like, 2 of them were stunted. After one of them did some crazy shit. The woman, you see what I'm saying? And it was such an easy, that's why I'm like, they couldn't even write logically, like in a, like battle logic. They didn't even, wouldn't make no sense, period, to just, after the city done surrendered, you're going to burn up the entire city. Now, if you really wanted to shake my wig up, you could have had Daenerys burn the entire Red Keep, and then set something, but see, you would have needed a whole entire season if you really wanted her to go super mad. Y'all didn't have another season. Y'all didn't have shit to set up. So if you wanted something crazy, you could have just had her fly straight to the Red Keep. She was already sitting on the fucking wall of the city. You could have had her fly straight to the Red Keep and burn them bitches up. That's it. And even before, in the season before, she said, my enemies are in the Red Keep. I have 3 large dragons. Basically, I'm a flying to the Red Keep or something like that. So she wasn't even thinking about, girl, I don't care what y'all say. It's just did not make no logical sense, even in the framework of her going down this road of madness. They needed a whole other season to convince me of that shit. I don't care what y'all talking about. They need a whole other season. I want to say almost 2, because it's just like, to take her from like someone who is freeing slaves, don't want to hurt anybody who's innocent, to somebody who would blow up a city. Like, you gonna have to give me a couple more seasons. Actually, you gonna have to wear her down. But no, this is what we got. It was so insane how Dany was handled as a whole. Like, I will never forget how senseless Rhaegal's death was. Way up in the sky, but you can't see no damn ships. And then when Dan and Dave talking about it, they gonna say, oh, she just kind of forgot about the Iron Fleet. I was just like, okay, I'm done. Let me tell you something. It's been 5 years. We have already rehashed this over and over and over again. But I'm just bringing this up to say, hey, we're already starting to see some rumors, girl. Like, what y'all doing with Rhaena? House of the Dragon. Let me tell you something. Please do not try me. We're still traumatized. Please do not try me. And y'all talking about Aegon's conquest and stuff that y'all gonna do. Y'all developing a TV show for that. Please, y'all. Please, y'all cannot traumatize us again. Please end this how it's supposed to end, whatever. Even if our characters end up in messed up situations, that's fine. But please, can the pacing make sense? Can the story make sense? Can the characters' evolution, or, if they're devolving, can that make sense? Please. That's all we're asking on this 5-year anniversary of our trauma. On that note, thank y'all so much for watching. Love you so much. And I'll catch y'all later. Peace.